Hi everyone. So for the purpose of economic evaluation, our group tutorial 6 group number 1 has decided to select the Sydney Metro West project for our evaluation. So I, Kant Sharma, will take you through the initial part of it, and then my team members will take you through for the rest of it. So just to give you an introduction of the project, this project is aimed to connect the Sydney CBD area to the Westmead region, spanning across 24 kilometers of purely underground metro line. The investment is expected to be around $24 billion as of 2024, and this project is expected to serve around 250,000 people by 2032. So the purpose of our evaluation was to assess the viability of this project as per the NSW Treasury Cost Benefit Analysis Framework, and to look at this project from both financial and economical perspective to guide the decision making process a bit better. So some of the key objectives of this project is to double the rail capacity from the current one that we have, and then reduce the travel time by half, having 7 new metro stations built across Westmead, Parramatta, Olympic Park, etc., and having strategical importance like reduce the congestion that's in one of the most busiest Sydney line, the Western line that we have. With that in mind, let's look into each parameter one by one.
Hello, I'm Rahul Podel, presenting the macroeconomic context of Sydney Metro West. This project tackles critical national priorities. Urban congestion costs Australia 0.15% GDP annually. Metro West directly addresses this with $6.2 billion in construction GDP contribution and $1.6 billion in annual productivity gains. For employment, we are creating 14,000 peak construction jobs and 12,000 permanent positions. Crucial for Western Sydney is 5.8% unemployment rate versus the metro average of 4.2%. The project also catalyzes $42 billion in private investment within station catchment, supporting Western Sydney's strategic development. Finally, environmental alignment is strong, reducing emissions by 20 to 80,000 tons annually with a 60% renewable powered electric system, supporting NSW's net zero plan. For the microeconomic analysis, Sydney's public transport operates as a natural monopoly. The existing corridor is at 95% capacity, creating clear supply constraints. Demand is projected to grow from 180,000 to 250,000 daily trips by 2032, with 20% being induced demand. Price elasticity is minus 0.4, meaning quality improvements drive ridership more than pricing. For consumers, Metro West cuts generalized travel costs by 45%, critical for Western Sydney, where 32% commute outside the region for work. The pricing strategy uses distance-based Opal fare averaging $4.8 with a 30% off-peak discount targeting 35% fare box recovery while maintaining affordability for lower income areas where median income is 18% below the Sydney average. This address this addresses market failures through improved accessibility and reduced externalities.
Uh, Let us start with the financial side of the project. The total capital cost is around $27 billion, with most of it spent on tunneling and station, about 56% and another 18% used for systems and fit out. The operating cost is expected to be about $156 million per year from the sixth year onward. In terms of final performance, the numbers are not very strong. The project shows a negative NPV of 19.8 billion, an IRR of minus 6.1%, and a BCR of 0.17. This means that from a purely financial point of view, the project is uh, not that profitable. And in another slide, we are going to talk about socioeconomic impacts and benefits. Now, looking at the socio-economic perspective, the story changes. While there are some costs such as construction disruptions worth around $1 billion, property displacement, and environmental cleanup, the benefits are much greater. This includes travel time saving of 5.68 billion per year, less traffic congestion, improved environmental and health outcomes, and higher productivity and tourism levels. So overall, even though the project may not look profitable financially, it brings long-term social and economic value that will benefit the community for years to come. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Sanjay and I'll be presenting the cash flow analysis for this project. We have evaluated this project from two perspectives. First, the direct financial case, and second, the socio-economic case. As you can see on this slide, the financial perspective is clear. The project is not commercially viable. The key indicators show significant financial deficit, a net present value of negative $19.8 billion, a benefit cost ratio of just 0.17, meaning it only earns 17 cents for every dollar invested, and an internal rate of return of negative 6.1%. The chart on the right explains why. The initial capex of $29.3 billion creates massive outflows that are never recovered by the modest inflows from fares and property. However, this is expected from critical public transport. Its real value isn't in profit, but in its service to the public. This brings us to the socio-economic analysis, which is the real justification. From this perspective, the project is exceptionally valuable. The economic NPV is positive $75.83 billion. The economic BCR is 3.03, meaning every dollar spent generates $3.03 in public benefit. As the pie chart shows, this value is driven by benefits to the entire community, mainly travel timing savings and congestion reduction. So to summarize,
Hi everyone, I'm Vivek Mastala and I'll be talking about the viability indicators of our project. To begin with, these indicators form the framework we use to evaluate a project's feasibility. Well, in our case, we have used three key measures: net present value, the internal rate of return, and the benefit cost ratio to assess whether the City Metro West project is viable or not. We applied these indicators on the two perspectives. First, the financial evaluation, which looks at the project from an investor's point of view, and secondly, the economic evaluation, which considers the broader societal impact. So when looking at the graph, you can see that the red bars represent the financial result, while the blue bars shows the socio-economic outcomes. From the financial perspective, the NPV is below zero, the IRR is lower than the discount rate, and the BCR is also less than 1. So this means that financially, the project will not be worth investing in if you only consider monetary values. However, this project is not meant to be a private investment. It's a public infrastructure project that delivers long-term community benefits. So when we include the broader social and economic factors, the scenario completely changes. All three indicators turn positive, with high NPV, strong IRR, and BCR greater than 1, showing that the project is highly beneficial for the society. So, while the city metro which might not be profitable from a financial standpoint, it is clearly viable from an economic and social perspective, making it a project worth undertaking for the public good. Thank you.
Having looked at the parameters individually, and we can clearly say that from the financial perspective, this project is highly non-viable. with a negative NPV of $19.83 billion, negative IRR, BCR ratio of less than 1. This is completely a non-viable project when you look from only financial perspective. This is very common across most of the public sector projects because they are not built from just to gain the financial benefit out of it. So when we had a look at the economical benefit, or from the economical perspective as well, this project completely changes. It becomes a highly viable project to go ahead with $75.83 billion of NPV and 24% IRR. So in our evaluation, we have concluded that from an economical perspective, this project is highly viable. Thank you.